an integrated ESG approach aimed to create lasting value for all stakeholders by making sustainability a core focus. To the progressive adoption of climate resilient practices and the pivot to renewable energy will reduce our carbon footprint. Further, we are deeply committed to protecting biodiversity and undertake several activities such as plantation drive, erosion control measures, and ecosystem restoration. Scheme of amalgamation. At its meeting held on 31st July 2024, the Board of Directors of the company had approved a scheme of amalgamation in terms of Section 233 of Companies Act 2013 between Utkal Coal Limited, Transferor Company, and Indian Metals and Ferro Alloys Limited, Transferee Company, and their respective shareholders and creditors, which was sanctioned by the Regional Director, Eastern Region, Kolkata, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, filed its order dated 28 February 2024. The order of the Regional Director, Eastern Region, Kolkata, was filed with the Register of Companies, Cuttack, Odisha, and the merger scheme became effective from 28 March 2025. Accordingly, transferor companies stands amalgamated with and into the transferee company in accordance with the provision of this scheme. Coal block compensation. During the year under review, Office of Nominated Authority, Ministry of Coal, Government of India, gave effect to the final compensation order dated 5th December 2023 by disbursing the balance amount of rupees 221.37 crores to establish Messrs. Utkal Coal Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of the company, now amalgamated with the company, towards valuation of compensation of freehold and leasehold land pertaining to Utkal Sea coal mines. This was in addition to the part compensation of rupees 131.53 crores received in the previous financial year. Further, during the year, UCL has also received rupees 8.63 crores from the nominated authority, and the balance compensation towards the cost of mines infrastructure, and subsequently an amount of rupees 7 crores from the new allottee toward the R&R sites. Corporate social responsibility. Your company approaches corporate social responsibility with a view to promoting inclusive growth by implementing multi-sectoral sustainable projects and enable marginalized community to live a healthy, dignified, and meaningful life. Our CSR efforts are geared towards holistic development through outreach program in healthcare, education, and skill development. Besides undertaking infrastructure development and providing disaster relief, the Banshida Panda and Ila Panda Foundation and Indian Metals Public Charitable Trust are the primary entities through which your company undertakes these efforts, on which rupees 11.9 0.01 crore was spent during the.
Are we expected to receive any cost optimization benefits, or it is just for the carbon credits? And secondly, are we looking at pursuing any other mining operations beyond where we are currently? Also, a sincere request from my end: we would love to come and visit the site of our plants and get a whole experience of how IMFA does its production. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I would request our MD to reply the queries.
Thank you. Let me start out by giving a little bit of insight into the company's performance, and then I will, I'll share some thoughts as well as try my best to answer the questions which have been asked by the esteemed shareholders. As you would have seen, we have worked very hard over the years to build a fully integrated business model, which is what sets us apart from practically any other producer in India and puts us in a unique sort of a position even globally, where we are able to be resilient. I have always mentioned that ours is a sector which tends to be somewhat cyclical, and there is not too much that can be done about the cyclicality, except to build a degree of resilience which enables us to ride that wave. And what has helped in that regard also is that for the past 18 months or so, we have been long-term debt-free. We have accumulated a kitty which we have used to first bring down our debt, then reward shareholders, and now we are in fact geared for growth, and we will be doing so by without taking any undue risk. And as I said, I think we are we find ourselves by the grace of God in a very good position. You are aware of the expansion project which is coming up in Kalinganagar that will be online by middle of next year. We are also, after 60 odd years, a strategic foray into ethanol, which is a rapidly growing sector. Recently, the government has also announced plans for 27% ethanol blending, so demand is expected to be strong. But we are exploring opportunities in downstream value-added products, and if we're able to crack that code, as I mentioned in a recent investor and analyst meet as well, then we will explore further investments without taking any attention away from the core business, which is ferroalloys. There was a question relating to by Mr. Pranav Jain relating to other mining opportunities. That was in fact something I was intending to cover in my opening remarks as well. We are, of course, in as much as our chrome mining is concerned, we were at 6 lakh tons for a period of time. This year, as in 2024-25, we have crossed 7 lakh tons for the first time, and we'll be in line with our expansion plans, gradually increasing our ore output in the first stage to 9 lakh tons and eventually to 12 lakh tons. That being said, we are looking at other opportunities, whether in related sectors like manganese, etc. In the auction regime, whenever such mining opportunities come up, we do an evaluation based on reserves, based on grade of ore, based on logistics, and something I have mentioned in the past, that we are always open to growth opportunities, to diversification opportunities, but we will do so only if it makes sense, and makes sense both financially, as in it must be value accretive, and makes sense because we bring something other than money to the table, in the sense that it must complement one or more of our key operational capabilities. So, we are never going to look at something where, the only thing we bring to the table is the ability to invest, because I don't think that is necessarily viable in the long term. We have to be able to understand and understand the business and get value out of it. Now, obviously, beyond just the adjacencies, which is manganese and other minerals, we are keenly looking at opportunities in critical minerals. That is an area which is very futuristic. It is something which complements our ability in terms of one of our core abilities, which is long experience in mining. So as and when these assets come, come on, come up in terms of auction opportunities or whatever, using AI, to that extent per se. But we are certainly making substantial investments both in hardware as well as other investments towards digitalizing operations, towards having a digital strategy in place. We are working with a leading consultancy company to see how we can extract more efficiency and value out of our existing operations and upcoming expansions through the use of digitalization. And that is something that is certainly topmost on our mind. Ranging all the way from predictive maintenance to various things. But yes, AI is something that we will, I guess we will graduate to in due course. Now, there's a question about circular economy and waste management. That is something which is certainly very, very important. It is not just from a statutory or a compliance point of view. Is not so much to do with statutory or compliance requirements, which of course are paramount. As you know that the renewable obligation is on an upward track, and with the 110 megawatts being commissioned by middle of next year, 2026, approximately 40% of our energy or so will come from renewable energy, which means we will definitely be compliant with regulations. But we are also looking at opportunities. First and foremost, there is a great deal of demand for green ferrochrome, particularly if you look at the European market. And while CBAM is still sort of evolving, but those are the sort of markets that we can break into with green energy. And that, apart from a cost perspective, and now to sort of switch over to the points which were raised by Mr. Pranav Jain, that renewable energy is also about cost optimization, because we have got fairly competitive rates, and these are rates which by and large will remain steady for 25 years, barring any regulatory changes. So that is something that works well for us. Before I proceed any further, I would like to thank Mr. Jain for his kind words about the performance of the company and the management team. I'm grateful for this acknowledgement. We make it a point to engage with our stakeholders and take on board all feedback and all comments and suggestions. And in that context, let me also mention that in as much as a visit is concerned, we are certainly open to it, and we'll try and set it up for on certain dates where which work for a larger group of people and make that happen. So I believe I have answered the queries. Do we want to give another chance to anybody who had?
I think we can just see
the three people who had registered but had not logged in. We'll just ask if they have logged in now, we can take the questions. If not, then we'll go on. So Rishikesh Chopra, Jyotindra Shah, and Manjeet Singh.
Anybody joined?
Rishikesh Chopra.
Mr. Rishikesh Chopra,
Jyotindra Shah, and
Mr. Jyotindra Saha,
and Manjeet Singh.
and Mr. Manjeet Singh. Has anybody joined? Okay. So Mr. Saha, please speak.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Now, I have three macro questions which are.
It is not audible, sir.
Your voice is not audible. If you can just check that part.
Okay. Now, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
No, again, not audible.
Hello.
I think you have to come little closer to your laptop or mobile.
Okay. Now I'm okay.
Bit. Not
Little
clear.
better. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Now I have three macro questions about the which are favoring infra. Now, number one is already answered by our MD, Mr. Subhakant Panda, about the critical mineral. That is a very good opportunity. Now, second point is this. Our major rival, I would not like to name them, they are finding ferrochrome operations unviable because of 95% premium they have to pay on the ore, and they are understood to have surrendered Sukinda Vedi chrome mines and also reduced our ferrochrome production from 50,000 tons to just 15,000 tons per month. So they are not interested to continue with the ferrochrome business. So that is going to open up a very good opportunity for infra, particularly in the domestic market. So I would like to have views of our MD. Now, one more point is regarding South Africa. For the first time in the history, Semencore and Glencore, they have proposed $100 export duty on chrome ore export, which will help the South African government as well as the ferrochrome industry as such. Now it will cost about 20,000 rupees ton extra to China, and to that extent, suppose it is implemented, it will bring bumper profit to infra, and that will be very good for us. So I would like to have views of our MD, Mr. Subhakant Panda, about this, what is happening in the South African this export front. Thank you very much. That's all for me. Thank you.
Capacity is certainly to cater more and more to the domestic market. And a phase 2 has been approved in principle by the state government in terms of single window clearance. But we have not taken any concrete steps on that in terms of land acquisition or applying for environment clearances, etc. So either which way, we are clear about a growth plan, which is a phase 1 underway, a phase 2 for which we have in principle clearance. And as and when any opportunity comes along, the same principle applies, that if it is value accretive and we bring some experience and core expertise to bear, then we will accordingly look at that. And of course, through acquisition opportunities, if we can accelerate our growth plans, then that is certainly something that we will look forward to. Thirdly, the third question was with regard to the South Africa export duty on chrome ore. As those of you who are familiar with the ferroalloys business would know, that South Africa has the largest deposit of chrome ore in the world, close to 80%, if not a little bit more. But the manufacturing ecosystem for ferrochrome has sort of deteriorated over the years on account of various factors, including inland logistics costs and rising electricity costs. And as a result of which, more and more ore is getting exported out of South Africa. And China has emerged as the largest producer of ferrochrome in the world without having any chrome ore reserves, and sources the bulk, if not the entirety of its chrome ore from South Africa. So, with prices being what they were especially in Q4, of course, we have seen a substantial rebound in prices, as is evident from our Q1 numbers for FY26. But not just in India, but globally in South Africa as well, there have been production cuts. And a call for measures to bring ferrochrome production back to South Africa. In that regard, I understand, just to add one additional point, that they are talking about and in some cases implemented some preferential energy tariffs, lower energy tariffs, but subject to availability of electricity, which will sort of negate some of the significant disadvantages that exist in South Africa for value addition. And yes, there has been reportage about export duty on chrome ore, but this is not for the first time that it is being talked about. It has been talked about for multiple times before, without actually progressing into the imposition of the actual duty. So we will wait and see. But these are all external factors, and what we focus on is to make ourselves as strong, as resilient, and as competitive as possible, so that we are amongst the lowest. So that we become one of the lowest cost producers in the world, and and stand to benefit on the basis of our own strengths, rather than some other producing country imposing export duties or not imposing them. But I do agree on one count that if an export duty does come through, then it will certainly change the dynamics of the ferrochrome industry, at least in as much as China's dominance is concerned. But I have enough faith in our strength and resilience due to our core capabilities that that we will look to deliver superior performance going ahead, especially when new capacity comes online, whether that is by way of our organic growth or through acquisition opportunities. Thank you. May I, before we go on to the remainder of the agenda, I would also like to take this opportunity on behalf of the board, on behalf of the management team, and I'm sure every single shareholder will join me in profusely conveying gratitude to Mr. N.R. Mahanti for his stellar presence on the board of over 20 years as an independent director, and several of them for the last 4, if I'm not mistaken, as non-executive chairman of the company. So we have benefited tremendously from your wisdom, your sagacity, your knowledge, and your cool and calm demeanor, which has come in handy many a time. And while you may be stepping down from the board and as non-executive chairman upon completion of your term, but certainly the connection continues, and we will continue to keep in touch and continue to look forward to your guidance, your wisdom, and your blessings, so that we, what we have carried.
Individuals can grow and teams thrive. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt appreciation to all our employees for their unwavering dedication and commitment, which has helped the organization succeed. I'm also happy to inform you that during the year under review, industrial relations at the company's various units remained cordial. Acknowledgement. On behalf of the board of directors and the management, I would like to place on record our sincere appreciation of the exemplary service rendered by the workforce during the year under review. I also express our gratitude to the team of lenders and working capital bankers for their support. Further, I thank the stakeholders, customers, central and state government and their agencies, and the public at large for their continued support and confidence reposed in us. Finally, as you all are aware, I am stepping down as a director and non-executive chairman of your company at the conclusion of the AGM. It has been an exceptional journey, and I have enjoyed interacting with all of you over the years. I would like to take this opportunity to wish the company and all of you the very best for a successful future. Thank you. The company had given option to members to submit their questions in advance with regard to the agenda matters to be placed at the AGM. However, the company has not received any query from the members. The company had also given option to members to register themselves as speaker to any questions pertaining to agenda items to be placed at 63rd AGM pursuant which the company has received pursuant to the company has received requests from 5 members.
Four.
Five.
Five. Acha, one more is coming.
Okay. 5 members, Mr. Rishi Kesh Chopra, Mr. Jitendra R. Shah, Mr. Jaideep Bakshi, Mr. Manjit Singh, Mr. Pranab Jain. Now, I would request the speakers to speak one by one according to their number. Due to time constraint, I would request each speaker to restrict their speech to maximum 2 minutes.
Mr. Rishikesh Chopra, please speak. Oh, he is not joined? Okay. Then the second speaker, Mr. J.R. Saha. Okay. Then the third speaker, Mr. Jaideep Bakshi. Mr. Bakshi. Mr. Bakshi.
Yes. Very good afternoon, Chairman and Board of Directors. Myself, Jaideep Bakshi, connecting from the city of Kolkata. Sir, your initial speech was very much informative and stressed more about our company affairs. Just want to know regarding the AI technology, which is now the buzzword of every engineering, every industry. So how much are we implementing in this, and also for efficiency growth also? And thoughts process regarding our circular economy and waste management, kindly share some thoughts. And finally, sir, regarding this green energy, where this carbon reduction policy and carbon credit points, how much are we earning? Kindly share some thoughts. That's all from my side. And I thanks to our company secretary and our entire team for giving me an